ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Afrobizgermany. My name is Samson Onoja Itodu. Today, I'll say today is a special one because I've got an Ugandan award-winning writer who has been through a lot because of his writings. He has his run into the government. He has been arrested, imprisoned, and tortured, and now he's in exile. I'm talking about none other than Kakwenza Rukirabashaija. He's now with me here now. I'm going to be asking him a question. He published his latest book is titled Banana Republic. And because of his critics of the government, he has gotten into problems. So I'm just going to let him tell us more about his situation and his book, and we're going to be analyzing everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, my guest, please, sir, let me start first of all. What is in that book? What have you written in your book that is causing every of this situation that is happening around you right now? What is there?
Thank you, Mr. for hosting me. I'm so glad that I made it because I was almost planning to postpone it because I woke up with some PTSD taking a toll on me. But I'm happy that I've made it and I am with you live. Yeah, so thank you, listeners. Now, about the book Banana Republic, Where Writing is Treasonous, I wrote it in June 2020. It is a narration. In that book, I narrated whatever I went through when I was arrested back in April 2020, when I published my first novel, my debut novel, The Barbarian. And when I was taken to the torture chamber, I was tortured very badly. And when I came out in May, in June, I started on that book, Banana Republic, Where Writing is Treasonous. So it is a narration of whatever I went through when I was in the torture chamber. Yes, and some bits of it, actually, after writing it and publishing it, they arrested me again. That was in September.
But the tortures you got, because I saw some pictures of you online with all your back really, the marks. Is it from the first time or the second time?
No, that is for the third time.
Third time?
Thought you had done your research.
Yeah, I did a bit of my research, but sometimes, okay, yeah, pardon me.
So when I was arrested again for Banana Republic, even that part is there in the second edition of Banana Republic. Then this third time, it was last year, towards the end of last year on 28th December, when they came and arrested me again and took me to the torture chamber. That is, I came out when I was all looking miserable, when all the entire body is scarred. You've seen pictures of my back, my thigh, my buttocks, everything. That is how I came out of the military detention.
So, what is it exactly got the government angry about you in your first book? What is that line? What is that particular thing that got them mad?
The first book, it is just an art of literature. Just like you see Animal Farm, yes, so it is just fiction, but when they read it, they thought that I was talking about them. So I had to be picked up and they had to question me. They had very many questions for me. Yeah, dictators fear pens, they fear writers. So, for us writers, we mirror the society we live in and we put it into a book for readers to read. So when they read it, they clearly understood that I was writing about the dictatorship in Uganda.
But what did they point? What particularly in that book did they point to when you were brought to the court? What did they say? Okay, this particular thing you wrote was the reason why we are arresting you, are charging you because of this.
No, the first time they forged charges against me. They preferred bogus charges against me, not related to what I was arrested for. It is the second time about Banana Republic when I was charged with inciting violence and promoting sectarianism through writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Crazy. Now you are in exile in Germany. When did you finally left Uganda?
I left Uganda on 9th Feb. Yeah, I couldn't stomach the persecution that was taking a toll on me. And besides, when I came out of prison, I went to the hospital and the doctor referred me to Germany for medical attention. And unfortunately, the magistrate had confiscated my passport. So when I applied for it and they refused to give it to me, I decided that I would not die in a country that doesn't care about my life, my human rights. So I decided to escape. I fled the country. I left the country illegally and without a passport. And now I'm in Germany. And I don't want questions about how I traveled without a passport.
That is giving too much away, isn't it?
Yeah, it is unusual. You cannot travel without.
Are you working with any international organization? Is any international human rights organization now helping you look into this case? Because I know you are suing the Ugandan government right now. Are you working with any international organization that is helping push your case?
I have very many organizations that are interested in my case, that are interested in my well-being. The first one being PEN International. They care about me so much because I'm a member of PEN International, and they do everything to defend my freedom, to express myself. They do everything to defend my human rights. And and my lawyer cares about me, cares about my well-being, defends me in court, defends me in public. So, yeah.
But is there any hope of you going back to Uganda someday in the nearest future?
Let me tell you something. When I recover like this, after the doctor has declared me fit to join the struggle again, I am going back to Uganda and I will use the international airport.
Oh, don't you think that is risky?
Whether they want it or not, I am going back to Uganda. It is my country. Why shouldn't I go back?
This is crazy. Your book, actually, Banana Island, one could equate it as looking at African political spectrum from your book. Are you viewing it in that area, or you're just looking at it from Uganda? Because typically African regimes are behaving in like that. Leaders are behaving in such manners.
That is Greedy Barbarian, my novel. Yes, it is an African revolutionary literature book. Yes, so it doesn't only talk about our country, Uganda. It talks about all the countries, the injustices we face, the lawlessness, the corruption, the murderous regimes. So it's not all about Uganda. It is, after all, it is an African revolutionary literature book. Then Banana Republic is just a factual book, a narration of what I went through when I was arrested for the debut novel.
When I was doing my research on you about your arrest, there's one particular politician, somebody in the government that is particularly, what is his name? That is particularly, that you meant, his name is being mentioned about he being the one instigating your torture. Who is he?
First of all, when I was arrested the first time in 2020, when the state started interesting itself in my literature, it was Mr. Museveni himself, the president, who asked or who commanded my arrest or who ratified my arrest. His wife, then now his son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, this time around he was in charge and he personally took charge in my torture.
Are you safe as it is now? Do you think you are safe from the reach of the Ugandan government at the moment? Do you find yourself really safe and protected? Do you foresee any risk wherever you are?
No, I do. I don't think that I am. First of all, I'm out of the jurisdiction. I am out of their jurisdiction. How will they get me? And for what crime? What have I done? What gumption do they possess to come and pick me from Germany or to harm me from this European country?
Crazy situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
One could look at you and really look at you as a very harmless person, but your pen is mightier than the sword the way it is right now.
I really pity them. You know, for you, I think you have some lot of understanding about history. Have you in history known any reader who has ever defeated a writer?
No, yeah, it doesn't exist.
Writers always win. And I actually pity those barbarians, Museveni and his son. I pity them because they will never win a war against a pen, a war against me. Yes, they have tortured me to almost death. They have scarred my whole body, but I don't see them winning this war.
You're not the only person that is going through hell in Uganda. There is this musician, Ugandan musician. What's his name again?
Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine. Also, because I remember when,
as long as you raise your voice and you have the backing, support, and whatnot, they always want to buy you to their side. But when you refuse, that is how they subject you to political persecution, barbarism, Stone Age, archaic torture, means of torture, just to silence you. But you know me, I'm a writer. When you torture me, I breathe ink. I do not breathe blood, I breathe ink. So the more you torture me, the more I expose. The more I expose you. So I really pity them.
How has the reaction within Uganda been concerning your issue?
Of course, everyone is concerned. You are a father, you are a brother, you are a son of someone. When you see your close relative or your son or your when you see that they are tortured and you look at their back, you're like, oh man, can't you get concerned? Ugandans are so much concerned, you know. Not everyone is condoning whatever happened to me, you know. We are human beings, but we are led by inhuman people. We are led by barbarians, cannibals. Actually, they call them cannibals. If they are not cannibals, what did they do to the flesh that they picked from my thighs?
It is really crazy. What is going on in Africa with old men leading Africa as being brutal? What is really going on with our continent?
I don't even understand. Imagine someone who has been in power for almost 40 years to start harassing me, a 33-year-old person, young man. Someone who is making 50 years, that is was Kakwenza, the son to the president, to start harassing me, a person who is not even interested in any political position in the country, who is not interested in standing against him in an election.
Do you think these leaders understand the power of the pen? Do you think they understand the power of a writer?
These people, they do not understand. For them, what they are concerned about is power. They have too much greed for power and consolidating it. In consolidating the power, that is how they burgeon whoever raises the voice. They want either to co-opt you or to kill you or to silence you. But some of us, we are not silenceable. We cannot be silenced.
Crazy. You are out in Germany now, comparing Germany and Uganda. How do you feel? What's your worldview? Is this your first time in Europe?
No, this is not my first time. And besides, how do you even start asking a comparison between Germany and Uganda? Uganda is a shithole. Germany is a first world country. So how do you really go, you know? Maybe we can you can compare it with the German of Hitler's, but right now Germany is peaceful, beautiful, and you know, yeah, everything is well.
And I know. First of all, what really gave you inspiration? How did you get inspiration into writing in the direction you're writing? You could write something else. Why this direction?
Because I was not brought up in a manner that when you look at an injustice or when you're faced with an injustice, you just take it with equanimity, you keep quiet. I wasn't brought up like that. So when I see the very many injustices were encapsulated in as Ugandans, and many people are cowering to talk about it, I'm like, no, I think I am doing my civic duty as a citizen of Uganda to speak up. And how much they try to whittle my concerns down, I cannot stop.
Did you expect that they would come at you with such force?
Of course, African leaders, they are predictable. I cannot say that they are unpredictable. You always know that they are going to do this, and indeed they do it. I expected him to come and arrest me, and he did, and he tortured me, and I expected it.
What has disappointed you most in this whole situation, your situation, and the responses that you're going to? Have you been disappointed in any area, or you expected everything to be the way it is?
What disappoints me is that the relationship between African governments, for example, Nigeria, Uganda, shithole countries, the relationship between shithole countries and America and European Union and Britain, the relationship keeps flourishing. And I ask myself, what are the common values that bond such relationship? Yeah. So is the relationship based on the leaders being flagrant abusers of human rights, or the relationship should have that common value of respect to the rule of law, democracy, But in Uganda, it is not even a democracy; it is a democracy, or it is a
famous Fela Kuti will say demonstration of crazy.
Yes, it is a Musevenocracy. For him, he has his own brand of democracy called Musevenocracy. So what are those common values that bind the relationship between the West and African shitholes? So if there is none, so why should the relationship continue? That means they are also in conformity with whatever abuse he's, putting up.
There's been this question has been coming up since this Russian invasion of Ukraine. Understand me? You see the way the United Nations and the Europe and the West have responded massively, using sports and all forms to deter the Russians from the invasion. Do you think, seeing the situation in Africa, where African leaders have been so crazy and bad and doing all these things, and we don't get the same response, what's your view of this from this perspective?
I've not come here to discuss about Russia-Ukraine things or in relationship to Africa.
But I'm just telling you, the way they responded to this, they should also respond to African issues like that. Don't you think so?
Of course, they should. Why should they abandon Africa? We are also, without Africa, the West cannot exist. But I always wonder why they support the dictatorship. They see what going on in our countries and they do not mind. They do not care.
Would you look at it that this, because of when Africa is disrupted, they gain from it?
Sorry?
Would you look at it from this point that when Africa is in a mess, the West is gaining?
I think so. I do not have justification for that, but soon I'll get it and maybe we shall have a conversation next time about it.
Are you planning on writing anything new? Are you working on new books about what are you working on anything now?
Yeah, I'm currently writing another book. Of course, I have to narrate whatever I went through in another book.
So you're writing about your deals, your experiences now, what you've gone through, and
I'm writing about what I experienced in the military detention, how I ran out of the country, how I'm finding my life in exile, yes. And maybe it will be released 5 years from now when Museveni and his stupid son are no longer in this world.
You're hoping they will go out very soon? We've been hoping for more than 40 years.
They are human beings, they will die.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you foresee for Uganda in the future?
Of course, I am optimistic. I am not pessimistic. I am optimistic that the new breed of leaders shall come up and organize the country in a manner that is acceptable or that are in conformity with the world standard. I do not see Uganda to be a shithole forever. We shall one time get caring leaders that will really organize the country and put it back to its feet.
And you think your book, Banana Republic, and all other books you've been waiting, has something for the youths that are going to come here to energize them to go into politics and then chase good leadership?
As I told you, Great Barbarian is an African revolutionary literature book. It is an eye-opening book. Whoever reads it cannot remain the same. It is like an anointing oil. Whoever has read it, it doesn't leave them the same.
I see your books.
For me, I would use literature to maybe to spark the revolution or to open the eyes of the people.
I see your books are running up the shelves online.
Sorry?
What other platform do you think people can get your book? As I saw your people writing online that they can't get your book anymore. It's off the shelves.
My books are on Amazon, Kindle, and maybe very soon.
The paperback. Do you have the paperback and the hard copies on Amazon?
No, but very soon they will be there.
Great. I want to say thank you very much for giving me your time. That has been an exciting time talking to you. We hope to get you again sometimes. If you have any of your books published or something you want to discuss with us, we are based in Germany here at Afrobizgermany. We are always hoping to host you. And then
thank you so much for giving me the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been speaking with Kakwenza Rukirabashaija, who has given me the opportunity, has gone through a lot with the government. He's a writer and a publisher. Go check out his book, Banana Republic, the latest book, Banana Republic, online. And there's so many other books that he has written. They are online there. Go check them out and then read more. And if you have questions, please leave it on the video. The video is going to be on Facebook and YouTube and on other platforms. And then we'll answer to you. So I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate your time with me.